Hi everybody, Robert here again. In this video, we're going to work with family parameters. So we're going to add reference planes, dimension and label references, add a pointer to a parameter, and flex the framework. So let's start here with a new template. And we're going to go down to the furniture template. If I can find it, here we go. Furniture. And we'll say open. Okay. Be any day now. Okay, now, what we like to do here now is we want to go into the View tab, and we want to say set a tile. You can do this by clicking this window tile or keying WT. Either one works. And then after that, let me just do this again. So WT, and it'll work. And then we can go ZA, and ZA means zoom all. So these are our three um, uh, views for this template we created. So now we want to save this family. Let's go File. We will save as, and we will call this bookcase. And I'm going to leave this on my desktop for right now. So let's go bookcase. Now this is a good practice exercise because if I interviewed somebody or on a job interview, if they could do this, I would think they have a fairly good understanding basically of families, the basics. And then we're going to say save here. We're going to go to options always one, okay, and then we'll go save. Okay, now, so what we want to do is we want to maximize our reference level, and we want to place some reference planes here. Create, sorry, reference plane. So I think we'll have one. We'll just add four. We'll add one here, one here, one just there, and one here. Okay, now, so we're going to add dimensions to each reference plane across the top side. Okay, so we're going to go create. We're going to add dimensions here. So annotate the line dimension. Just go from here to here to here. Same with there. And we do an overall dimension. And now here, for this dimension, probably should have did this earlier. We want to set equality. So these are always equal. And we'll do that with this one as well, but it's already equal. But we want to set it as equality because whenever that outside dimension changes, or the overall dimension changes, we'll always have equal distances from those two points. Okay, so now we have our parameters set. Now we want to go to the Create tab. Sorry, we want to select this dimension, and we want to add parameter. And so we will call this one width. And it's a type parameter, and we'll say OK. This one, we'll call it our depth. EPTH, and we'll say OK. Okay, so now we have our parameters in place, and it's always a good practice to flex these and make sure everything's working right, because this is the skeleton of our bookcase. So let's go into our family types, and let's change this width to, let's make our width 3 feet, and let's make our depth 1'4". Notice I'm taking in just 1/4. Revit knows that that's 1/4. Okay, so it looks like everything's selecting okay. So now what we want to do here, we want to zoom in to the bottom here, and we want to create another reference plane about 1 inch from this line. So let's go across here. We can fix that later. Take that guy there and there. It's another reference plane, and we want to change this to 1 inch. And we want to over here, and we want to lock this. Okay, so now I want to show you here what we need to do. Now, once we have this reference plane in place, we want to name this one. So we can do it 2 ways. We can tick it, and we can click this name, or we can do it over here. So I'm going to just click it here, being lazy. And I'm going to call this, we're going to name this reference plane door face. And there, see it pops up over there in a properties dialog box. Okay, now let's flex this framework again. Let's flex the width to 3.6 and the depth to 1.1. Let's click apply. Okay, good, everything is flexing. Now at this point I will save this family. Let's do a quick save. Okay, now we'll move on. So let's go and open our front elevation. Now, in our front elevation, we want to create a height in our different shelves. So let's go and just go to Create tab. Let's do a reference plane. Let's just go right about here. This will be our base. I want to just tuck this up. I'm going to double click that temporary dimension and just say 4 inches. Okay. So that's our base. And I double click that, make it a permanent dimension. And so we'll go and create this parameter now. So we'll call this base. And we'll click OK, and it's a type parameter. Good. Now, what we want to do is go in and create our shelves. So this is going to be pretty straightforward and fairly simple to do here. So what I want you to do basically is, let's do it. Let's go create a reference plane. And we'll go one here, just guessing. We'll put one there. This will be the second shelf here. I got a better way of doing this. Just stop being lazy. Now we can do this. We can go pick a line. We can do an offset. Let's say 1 foot. And just go, whoop, 1 foot here on keyboard. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Just making it easy, and we'll do the top while we're at this. So now we want to go and set these other these dimensions in here. So let's go dimension. Let's get the top out of the way. So our top is the height. So let's grab this guy, and we'll make him height. Height. It's also a type parameter. And there's our height. So let's flex this height while we're in here, because I think we're going to need a little more height. So let's make this 5 feet. Apply. Okay, it's flexing good. Now, we need to add parameters for these shells. So we need to add a create. I'm sorry, you want to annotate. Dimension there. Move one from there to there. And these are actually going to be our shelf heights. Okay? So now, let's just grab one. And we'll create a parameter. We'll call it shelf height. There's also a type parameter. We go OK. And there's our shelf height. So now we can just pick these and just slide this down to our shelf height, because they're all the same. And we'll go with this one as well, shelf height. Okay, so now we have all of our parameters in place. So let's just go here now and let's fix these to shelf height in the type properties, family types, and we want to make that shelf height 1'3" for all of them. And as we can see, everything flexed okay. We don't have any problems. So it's always good to practice flexing. So now let's go back into our family types, and we want to create a formula here. So for the shelf height, which is 1'3", we want this to equal height, the overall height divided by 4. So we can go height divided by 4. So we have 4 spaces. And then we want to lock these, and we want to apply and OK. So now let's save this family again. So we've gotten pretty far here. I want to split this video up into parts, but let's move forward. We think we might be able to get this done to a degree anyway. So let's save this. Now, this guy is going to get fun now. We're getting ready to add some geometry here. So let's open our reference level. And we want to click on the Create Extrusion tab. And in the options bar, we want to set the depth here to 4 inches. Okay. Now, what we want to do now is, this is our base actually, so we want to go in a rectangular tool and just go from this corner to this corner, and then we want to lock these. And then we'll click finish. Okay, now let's open our front view. And there you can see our base. So let's align this now to this reference plane here and lock it. Okay, now let's move on. So now what we want to do here is we want to create the frame and shelves for the bookcase. Now, so we're going to go to create tab, and we want to select set work plane. And so now in the work plane dialog box, we want to set it to name. and we want to go down to that door face that we created earlier. We'll select OK. So now we're initially in that line, in that on that plane. So we want to start extrusion, and then we want to draw 4 reference planes. From the Create tab. So we want to draw a reference plane here, one here, one here, then one at the base, one here. Now we want to place the dimension here. One here, there, here, and this one here. Now we want to let's make this a little bigger. So just by changing the scale, let's go 1 to 1 inch. Okay, that's a little better. And now we want to give these parameters. So what we want to do here is we want to select this. This is going to be a new parameter, and we're going to call this frame width. And this type parameter, we'll say OK. Now let's go in and flex this guy. Frame width, let's say 2 inches here. So now let's pick these others up. Okay, so everything's looking kosher now. Uh-oh. We want to move this constraint, see what's happening here. We got a problem right here. Okay. Let's just delete this and see what we can fix this. Hopefully it's nothing serious, because I don't want to start this thing over. Okay. Great. Okay, so now we have all of our widths done. And now we want to go to the Create Extrusion and in the rectangle option. And then we're going to set this guy, let's go to here, Extrusion. And now we want to set our depth here to 1 foot this time. Enter. Okay, so let's hit the rectangular tool. And let's go from here to just there. Let's lock these. Okay, now we want to go from here to this intersection point and lock these as well. Excuse me. Now we have these all locked in place. And then we want to hit the green check mark to finish. So there we have our framework done. So now let's go and let's start the extrusion command again. We want to create reference planes for our shelf thickness. So I like to do this pick line guy. It's really easy. Let's just go 1 inch here. And let's just go boom, boom, there, there. Oh, I'm coming down with some, sorry folks. Okay, there. Now let's go in and get these guys parameters. Equality. Go from here to here. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's good. Okay. That'll work. Now, we want to give these guys here a parameter as well. So let's go in here and select this dimension. We'll call it shelf thickness. And we'll say OK. And we'll just grab this one and just go and add the shelf thickness parameter. Oop. Didn't get us an overall, sorry. Okay, so now our shelf thickness, I think we're going to use these only as 1 inch. So we should be able to take all these, and I'll take this guy and make this 1. Okay, so we're looking good. Now let's go in and let's create with the rectangular tool our geometry. We want to lock these guys up. And we'll go to this one. This one here. I think we're gonna, well, we're gonna wrap this up shortly. I just want to get the bookshelf built in because I want to break this into types in another exercise. Okay, now let's select the green check mark for finish. Now, let's do some flexing here to make sure everything's working properly. So what we want to do here now is I want to take you into the family types dialog box, and we want to move this stuff around. So we want to get the height on the top here. So we just take these arrows and go. We want to go height this first, move that height to the top. And then we want to go with the width is next. So take the width and bring that one up second. And then the depth Let's just move this up 2 spaces. Okay, now, so what we want to do is we want to make sure this works properly. So let's make the height is 5. Let's make the width 3 feet. I'm okay with the height, so let's make that 3. Click apply. Okay. So everything seems to be working pretty good here. So now let's save this guy and move on and finish this thing up. So now let's open a right elevation here. Now in our right elevation, we want to align our shelves to the back here. So let's go align this and lock it. Align this one and lock it as well. I don't know if I got that one. Wait a minute. Let's do that again. So align. There we go. Okay. We just want the shelves here. So now let's open our floor reference level. Okay, now we're back at our floor level. So now let's create another reference plane. We'll make it right about here. This one, I want it to be 1/4 of an inch. So let's grab this guy here. Should be able to just touch this and key in 1/4. Okay. And we'll make this permanent dimension. Okay, making permanent dimensions is just simply ticking on a dimension. Okay, now, and I want this guy locked. Now, okay, what I want to do now is I want to create extrusion again. And the depth is going to be 2'6". Let's just make this 2'6" for now. We'll change it later. And we'll draw our extrusion. Okay. Here to this point. Let's lock these all up. And let's pick the check mark. Okay, now let's open the back elevation. And there's our extrusion we just made. So what we want to do, we want to align this guy to the top. So let's just stick a line and lock it. Okay. So now let's go into our 3D view. And there's our bookcase. Now, as you can see, the geometry is not clear, right? So we can just go here and go to create, modify tab. And where we see modify, is do join geometry. So let's select that shelf and that back. Shelf, the wall, the back. And there you have our shelf. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. It's a good exercise for creating families. We're going to move on, take this a little deeper in another exercise. But for right now, thank you for watching this video. And if you like it or have any comments, subscribe and put it in the options in the letters below. Thanks again for watching and bye.